So while we were on the topic of ball bags,
Yeah, especially yours.
Jeremy from the F2. I'm sorry.
Yo, that's sick.
No.
Oh, you smashed that.
I don't mean that. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about
Let's talk about the beef that's been happening online.
Yeah, so it's old beef, F2 versus everyone, relating the Wembley Cup.
Everyone in the final Wembley Cup.
Yeah,
I can't remember if
most
there were
recent
3 or 4.
one.
I can't remember if there were 3 or 4. Because I know there was one I played in, and then there was the second one. And I don't know if that was the one JJ played in, or there was another one where JJ played, then the 4-team one.
Yeah, well...
So basically, a while ago, the final Wembley Cup, there was hashtag XO, F2, and Rebel FC.
Yeah.
It was 4 teams. They had like this is a very quick rundown. They did like a pre-tournament to see who got to pick legends first. And in one of the games, XO 1-0 up against F2. F2 are like the better team.
And XO, while they've got some good players in their team, they were kind of considered a bit of a
Well, when you're
team.
headed up by Stephen Tries and Willeny and True Geordie and Lawrence and etc.
And that's no disrespect to XO. They themselves
but
think
when
that.
you're in a football match and you're headed up by F2, one of the teams, like,
they're expected to win.
Yeah.
XO are not expected to even get an inch in that game.
So XO score 1. It gets to it's a 30-minute game. It gets to the 27th or 28th minute, and the ref blows the whistle.
Yeah, or the 13th minute of the second half.
Yeah. So that caused a lot of drama, and it basically got brought up recently.
Yeah, so we actually spoke about this on the podcast a while ago.
Yeah.
And it's our biggest ever video on the channel.
Yeah, because then they did the actual Wembley Cup, and
XO
F2 won, but there was a load of drama.
Yeah.
And okay, this is about to get very drama orientated, which I don't like.
And
but
at the time, by the way, I had no idea what was going on. So when you were talking about this situation, I was like I was freestyling in my head. I was like, okay, you talk, I would just nod and say, yeah, whoa, yeah.
So a clip resurfaced of Stephen Tries talking to Jeremy and Man Like Hacks behind the scenes, and it kind of sparked everything. Like also Stephen talking on Jackmate's podcast about Jeremy.
Yeah.
And this is a very unpopular opinion. He has never wronged me in any way.
Yeah.
I personally have no bad opinion. I don't know what the right word is. I've no
bad blood.
Yeah, with Jeremy or the F2 or Billy.
Yeah.
So when all these people are saying stuff, I personally haven't seen it. I'm not saying what they're saying is lies. I'm not defending him. I'm not saying anything like that. I just want to say that I have no bad blood towards him. I mean, have you met him?
I've never met him.
So you like...
Yeah, got nothing against him. I do think that we'll get into it, but I do think a lot of... I think first of all, obviously, I saw Spencer's video. Make sure you go and see that. It's a good video. Spencer and Seb are speaking about, what happened in the Wembley Cup, and they go into it with detail. They go into it because of this clip resurfacing. Everyone's talking about it. It's good for them to address it, not only for, their channel, their podcast, whatever that is, but also to clear the air, speak on it, maybe at a time where it's not heated. So it's like people can now talk about it a little bit without causing more drama, even though it kind of has. What I will say is I do think... While the F2 had a right to be pissed at what happened, the game getting called off early, I don't think it was a fault of Spencer. I don't think it was a fault of anyone other than that referee.
But that's what I want to say is like, they haven't done anything to me, but I'm not saying they've handled every situation right.
Yeah.
So that situation, for example, they've gone at Spencer and they've almost shut down his entire project.
Yeah.
When Spencer has done nothing wrong.
Yeah. So what they did was, first of all, by kick up a fuss. If you are correct, which they were correct.
Everyone does the same thing of going, come on, lads, it's a charity tournament, chill out.
Yeah.
Everyone would have had a go at the ref if it was the other way around.
Yeah, but I don't think they would have taken it. Apparently it took 2 hours. Apparently they were being divas. It's annoying. You know how hard it is to film something like that, especially on a YouTube's kind of level. Like maybe yes, in real football you can sort out a new game, but you've got like Spencer was saying, you've got Freezy, True Geordie, all these people in it. They have not really got time to come back and do it again. Yeah. So taking 2 hours, I can see why that's a little bit much. What I will say is, who's the guy's video that we saw today in his bedroom?
We watched a few.
Someone in his bedroom on the XO's team.
Yes.
speaking about it, and he was, showing stuff how obviously Stephen tries to do a diss track on Jeremy the night before. No harm in doing that. I think if Jeremy's got a problem with that, it's just YouTube. Just do one back.
Yeah, if he's got a problem with that, then he is taking himself too seriously. Realistically.
Yeah, but then obviously they're playing the diss track on the back of the bus. It seems like a lot of things they were doing was trying to provoke Jeremy a little bit, which is fine, by the way. I will say that's still fine. You can still do that.
For sure.
But don't be surprised when they
start gloating about winning.
Yeah. So I will say it seems like there's a bit of two sides here. I do think if the F2 Jeremy do have a sour taste because of that and they take it too seriously, it's a fault in them. But I think in this whole scenario, in that sense, it seems like it's a bit like he say, she say, we did this, they did that. I obviously you say you got no bad blood against Jeremy. I haven't. I don't know him at all. But I do. If you've got so many people saying that you're a dick to work with, fully. I will be inclined.
No, I can imagine that. This is another thing, and I don't want to sound big-headed when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
He may not have been mean. This sounds so childish. He may not have been mean at all or a diva around me because of the position I'm in.
He may think having a good relationship with you and the Sidemen will reap rewards for them business wise.
Yeah, because I've run into him on pretty much every single wireless. The last wireless festivals, every single time, and there's never been any form of diva-ness.
Yeah, but then again, it might be the situation you're in. Wireless is chilling. If you're playing against him in a game,
exactly. As I said, I've never worked with him like that.
Yeah.
So I have no experience. So if everyone is saying he has been a massive diva, he's horrible to work with, I'm not going to say that's not true.
Yeah.
He may be, 100%.
But I guess for you can't say...
I'm not going to sit here and go, he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I think everyone who's done a video on him does keep doing the thing of, I don't want to bring up the past because it's 2 years ago. But you're still doing the video and it's so instantly when it's hot. If you really had an issue with it, why haven't you done it in the past?
Yeah, I will say, though, on the other side of that, I don't think that's a situation with Spencer in his video.
No, Spencer's first one, he did get... Well, his second one, he got an email about it.
Yeah. But I think Spencer has worked... Say the XO versus the F2, right? Yeah. This may be, correct me if I'm wrong, this may be their first ever interaction with them. They may have seen him, do his Batman song. They may have seen him be a little bit of a muppet, say, he's the best player on the ball at Arsenal. All this stuff that you can see, okay, let's have a laugh at him. Whereas Spencer has worked with the F2 very closely throughout both of their career, and if Spencer has been around Jeremy and seen him be a dick to him, I would take Spencer's word for it more than a lot of other people because I know it's business then, and they're behind the scenes sorting things out. I know Spencer said that they were trying to get a business deal sorted with them. They kind of kicked up a fuss and tried to take that business idea away from them. That's what Spencer said. So I feel like Spencer probably has the first-hand opinion on the matter of who Jeremy is as a person. The rest of it is what we've all seen online, albeit XO seen it a little bit more firsthand. Do you get what I'm saying? Have I explained that?
Well, yeah, it's the same. So I know Spencer really well, and for Spencer to make this video did make me then go... It made me think it must be partly true.
Yeah, Spencer's a very fair person.
Yeah, he's very... Sure. He also doesn't concern himself with little things like a diss track, for example.
Yeah, but in a game, he said, I'm likely to get hot-headed in a game, but everyone does that.
Yeah. So when he made that video, I did think, okay. But as I said, I'm not going to judge anyone until they've wronged me or actually, harmed others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
So there is also this other guy, Hacks, who I think I've met him once and didn't really talk to him.
Okay.
But he has actually tried to harm people that I know.
Right.
He was out there trying to fight Lawrence on the pitch.
Yeah,
that
picture's jokes.
Yeah, that picture's sick. But he was telling people he'll shank them.
Yeah.
At that point, he's trying to start beef with Stephen, who everyone knows is ridiculously just nice
guy. Yeah, I don't think Jeremy would even threaten to shank somebody.
No, so
he might be a bit of a dick, but I don't think he's going to take it that far.
So at that point, it is. This is just my opinion. You guys can call me wrong. That it's my opinion. I am allowed to judge that person.
Yeah,
because they're threatening one of my friends.
Yeah.
So that video, he does not do well because he basically says, "Oh, I'm funnier than you." But then when Stephen just backs himself up with a stat, He goes, I don't care about your stats. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm huge on Instagram. And he's like,
People always do that. People always use numbers until the numbers aren't in their favor.
Yeah.
Then they complain that the other person's using numbers.
Yeah.
And then True Geordie comes in, Big Brian, and just dead the situation. And then fair play to the person. I don't know who posted that video, but he did say, everyone's like, why did you stop recording? Like, that's about to kick off. You just stopped recording. But I think he said, like, he was trying to, like, it's the same thing when JJ's, getting jumped on in LA. Like, you have to make a decision, like, are you going to film or are you going to stop filming?
Try and diffuse the situation.
I continued filming, but also, bad. I was filming badly to try and diffuse it. I just didn't have time to press stop recording.
The thing is, I know everyone's going to say that I'm sitting on the fence with this, and I'm not, because I do trust Spencer. I know Spencer way better than I know Jeremy.
I've never met Jeremy or Billy. I've met Spencer quite a few times, and every time I have, he's been really a great guy. I remember one time I met him at Gfinity, and we were walking to, like, the train together, and he gave me a lot of, like, words of, like, inspiration.
Yeah, Spencer is a really nice guy. Top guy. Seb is also. Like, I played golf with him the other day for a video, and he's him and Spencer are so similar.
Yeah, and I do believe, while Spencer making this video does bring things back up, it does seem like they do have their opinion on F2 is not good. They don't, they're not a fan of Jeremy. They said that's what the title was. But I do believe them when they don't want any ill will to Jeremy. They wish him success, which I thought was a nice touch of class, and I think they do mean that. We've said it on the podcast, as much as people, or we may not have a fond impression of Jeremy, or either I don't, because of what I've heard about him. He does bang on TikTok. He's a very talented guy. They're both good at what they do. They know how to run a business. They know how to create content. So,
see, I think that's what swayed me towards, not towards Jeremy over Spencer, but for feeling like Jeremy has not been.
But he could just be acting normal on the camera.
But it's because people literally will do videos where they just react to his TikToks and laugh at him. And I think this guy is killing TikTok.
He's doing well, yeah. But you don't know his past or his history.
Nice. That's a lyric from one of his songs, so anyone who doesn't know. But, he's killing that part. So he may be a complete douche to work with. Don't work with him.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's not shot.
You do have to give him credit where credit is due in that regard, but
Yeah.
I've never met him. I can't give a concrete impression on him. It sounds like he's a dick. I'll trust a lot of other people, but I just don't know.
I mean, I've not actually worked with him. I've done one half video that was with Adidas. It was a 2-minute video, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
So I've never worked with him. There's probably a reason why.
Probably potentially. I think also, let's get onto the email as well. Spencer and Seb were saying if they had this email 2 years ago, whenever it happened, it would have solved a lot of issues. Maybe Spencer and Jeremy may have never fallen out if this came forward at the time. Apparently what happened is F2 were being dicks to the referee, which Spencer did admit in football games, that's what happens.
Oh yeah, in a football game, everyone's a dick to the ref.
Football is a very abusive sport, verbally, to the referee, to the other players. Is what it is. Spencer himself was saying, I say a lot of horrible things to referees as well in the heat of the moment in the game. So whether F2 are being dicks in a football game or not, it just is what it is. The referee, apparently, according to another referee or another member of the refereeing team, said that the referee in charge of the game, because they were being dicks, decided to cut the game early. And he told all of the referees, I'm going to cut this game early.
I think that must have been premeditated, though. Because...
How would you tell everyone right there in that moment?
That, and also, he was I don't know what level of ref, but he was at least like county level.
He was FA. He was FA accredited.
So he must be used to people abusing him in the match.
Yeah, which is why it's ridiculous what he did.
But that's why I think it must have been premeditated, as in F2 must not have just been a dick in the match. They must have been, before the match, been rude to them and stuff like that.
Yeah, or he just doesn't like them. But even then, whatever your opinion is, as a referee, you just can't do that.
Oh yeah. It's literally the most unprofessional thing.
Yeah, I mean, Sev in the video was saying this: if that's true, what he did, he can never manage another football game ever again, no matter what the level. Even if it's a kid match, he can't do it. So it's ridiculous that a referee would decide that, because and Seb was saying, to be fair, like, how we always think, people give Man United too many penalties because of the bias. That could be true. After seeing someone have letting their opinion change their refereeing of the game is just unacceptable. So apparently they decided to cut the game short, or he decided to cut the game short, told all the other referees, linesmen to delete the watch, which is stupid because it's actually a YouTube event. It's being filmed. Yeah. They know, they have the stats.
Oh, can we just check the footage?
Yeah, which is what they did. That's probably why it took 2 hours. But if that person came forward, or if any of the referee team came forward at the time, it may not have ever got to that stage. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit of arguments, yeah, but not 2 hours, not holding up, the business of the Wembley Cup, Spencer's, show.
There was one bit in the actual final where F2 had won, and Jeremy holds up a drink, I think it was, that I think he was sponsored by.
Oh yeah,
And that to me, okay, cool. Like, you're sponsored by them. That to me was really like that didn't sit right with me.
No, it's not. You can't do that. Yeah,
the whole event is sponsored by stuff. Even if I'm sponsored by Apple,
yeah,
and I go to an Android event as like a guest,
yeah,
I'm not going to go like, oh, by the way, check out the Apple. Look, you know what I mean?
It's like me. Say if I'm a guest on this podcast, it's like me coming onto this podcast or coming onto the Sidemen podcast and doing a brand deal on your podcast.
Yeah.
It's literally, well, like Spencer said, they could have sued them and actually obviously won that.
Yeah.
You can't sponsor, like, remember Bentner, Paddy Power, showing the Paddy Power boxers or his gum shield, like, he literally got sued for that.
Yeah, so I feel very sorry for Spencer for having to deal with all of that.
They had a nightmare throughout the whole, it seems like F2 did really, that's why they fell out.
Yeah, for sure.